can see me. The skybox is right next to Riri's. Solely responsible for showing rappers how to stand on the front lines when started throwing bands. Where were you when Big brought the Tigers in? Cause I was busy earning stripes like a tiger skin. Layers and ball shorts.
Saquon Barkley, welcome.
All right, Coach, we welcome everybody to the Garden State. EA Sports coverage of the NFL finds us at MetLife Stadium in East Rutherford, New Jersey. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Jacksonville Jaguars and the New York Giants. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line.
Here we go. Mike 39, Lucy.
Bortles now on first down. And Austin Seferian-Jenkins has it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 19 yards right off the bat and a quick first down.
I do believe we'll see a little bit more of this as this game progresses, because when you can have that type of a gain in the middle of the defense, it hurts them in so many ways, because most teams like to be strong down the middle. And if you can sting them there, that opened things up for you on the outside as well.
But that's where their big tight end, is so good. That middle third, the seam routes, the in routes. Yeah, you're right. Probably see more of that.
Yeah, it takes a lot of courage and fortitude to go in the middle as well. And he's got it.
That goes for a gain of 31. So the same tandem connecting on back-to-back throws to start the game.
And maybe throwing the scouting report off just a little bit. That's not exactly what they think is going to be their number one receiver, but he's producing already early in this game.
Now a play fake here on first down. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
We know it's not an easy job to go out and catch passes when people are trying to tackle you and knock the ball away. But the bottom line is, that's a pass he's got to have and a pass he should have caught.
An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Again, it's Bortles. This is Sheldon on the dump off. They'll get nothing out of that one, and it's going to lead to a 3rd down. They tried to swing it out left into the flat, but the defense, they were very principled there.
It felt very West Coast offense, didn't it? You know their expression, right? On a West Coast offense, when they throw the ball, it's either going to be a touchdown or a check down, meaning they like to press it downfield. If they don't have it, swing it out, which is exactly what we saw there. But how about the great pursuit and tackle to make a nice play?
Now Bortles. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
Chances are good he's going to be a very busy guy. 2 catches already in this opening drive, and they were looking his way for a 3rd.
I think they put this defense on notice that could be a really, really frequent combination. And Lambeau will put this one through, and the Jaguars grab a 3-0 lead. So our initial drive this afternoon results in 3. Not sure that that's a statement necessarily, but getting points on the road, never a bad thing.
You're exactly right about that. I love how you framed it, right? Not sure it's a statement, but at the same time, you're putting something out there, aren't you? Letting them know, hey, we came to play today.
To return, it's Kalen Clay. And they'll have good starting field position as he's up just shy of the 40. So good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Now the first NFL carry for Saquon Barkley. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards. And it's 2nd and 2.
And you remember pre-draft, there's a lot of speculation that the Giants should look for their future quarterback at number 2 with a great possibility. Remember, Sam Darnold from USC was still on the board. but they passed on him to take this runner, Saquon Barkley. And this is exactly why. They think he can extend the life of Eli Manning's career and give them 1,000-yard seasons year after year.
They haven't had a 1,000-yard season since 2012. Ahmad Bradshaw did it then.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Now a clash of bodies here, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick.
Well, they didn't exactly show patience there, did they? Just down a score, they come out firing right away and compound things by throwing an interception. They put their defense in a really tough spot.
The Jags heading out on offense. Well, last year we said, Charles, one of these years it has to come together for the Jaguars, doesn't it? Well, guess what? It certainly did. They won double-digit games for the first time in 10 seasons, and they picked up 2 more wins in the playoffs before falling in that tough one to New England.
And they decided that on offense, they were going to be a team that knocked you off the ball and ran it. That's why they drafted Leonard Fournette out of LSU. He gave them some toughness and an identity. Quarterback Blake Bortles, often criticized, but elevated his play in the playoffs, both with his legs and his arm. But the defense, that's where the big transition happened. Yannick Ngakoue coming off the edge. Calais Campbell, maybe the best player in the defensive line in the league last season. But Jalen Ramsey out at corner, he gives them their swagger, he gives them their look, and he gives them great play on the edge.
From the gun on 3rd down, Bortles. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this into enemy territory across the 40. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A first down carry now for Yeldon. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
His throw caught right around the 6. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Forget height and catch radius. When you run the fade really well, run down the defender, kind of take him a little bit towards the middle of the field, and then fade to the sideline and give your quarterback some space, it can be executed that well, just as we saw.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Got to give a lot of credit to the defensive front there. They held their ground, pretty much stoned them on that play, and ended up creating a lost yardage play.
Yeah, drop them from the 1 back to the 2. To throw is Bortles. Under pressure now, and he's going to go down. Sacked back around the 8. Kareem Martin leading the surge there. He drops him for a loss of 6. That is a sight, a sack that Giant fans hoping to see more of this year.
Well, we know they put a big emphasis on it in the offseason, and it paid off in a big way early in this game, getting to the quarterback. The Giants know they have to get their pass rush pumped up.
And this is going to be incomplete.
Timing's crucial in any route thrown, but when you throw an out, so many things are going through the mind of the receiver. Catching the ball, timing it up with the quarterback. Are my feet going to get down inbounds? On that play, all those things going through his head might have caused him to drop it.
So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goals probably not what they were hoping for.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
Eli Manning and company getting set here as they head back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. Let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
A little too aggressive defensively, and the flag comes out.
And no one trying to cover is going to like a call going against them, but you have to like the effort there. Went for the interception, just unable to get it, and the flag did come out.
On first down, Manning. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, second down. And we take you through the starting defense for Jacksonville.
I enjoy talking about and watching A.J. Boye play because when he was in Houston, he worked his way up from a nickel corner, sometimes a dime cornerback, all the way up to a starter. Now, his first Pro Bowl in 2017, this time with the Jacksonville Jaguars after signing with them as a free agent, and had 6 interceptions, tied for second in the NFL. I love his physical, aggressive style, always going for the football.
Calais Campbell on the stop. And this is a guy straight out of college. They're not going to try to groom for a year or two. They want him to produce right away.
That's why they took him in the first round. They expect him to be a starter right away and a future all-pro. So they don't have any time to wait for him to come along. They want him to play right now to help this team.
They added a lot of talent to a roster that really needed an infusion of youth. They got a very good into a double team, and it's intercepted. A.J. Boye with a pick. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. And now out come the Jags. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point
kicker.
Exactly. You put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about
toe
that.
Bashed it.
Super toe.
And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
Here's Bortles to throw. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. The intended target, the tight end, Austin Seferian-Jenkins. And it's 3rd and short.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown, out of his reach, and incomplete. They'll try and run for it with Fournette. And a short gain here, down to the 22. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down and a yard. We haven't seen much from him running the football here in this first quarter.
No, you're right about that. We haven't seen much of him at all so far. They've stacked him up pretty well, but when you're trying to run the football, sometimes you got to play the long game. Keep handing it to him, and some of those runs that aren't working now, they turn into 6, 7, 8, and maybe more later on.
So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, they've still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. The Giants making their way out, and at this point you would have to think that all mentions of last year maybe erased from team history, or at least that's what they want. And clearly, Charles, correct me if I'm wrong, the talent on this team, too good for another 3-13 finish, right?
And I think that was reflected in their draft in 2018. Because if it was an all-out rebuild, they would have drafted a quarterback at number 2. Instead, they drafted Saquon Barkley. So that signals to me they want to get back to running the football and trying to punish people on offense and take the pressure off of Eli Manning. And on the defensive side of the ball, they obviously have to get better. But believe it or not, you know who can really help them there? Their head coach, Pat Shurmur. Comes from a defensive family, understands how valuable it is, and loves the toughness and the identity that a good defense can provide.
They'll lose a yard, and it brings up 3rd.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And that is incomplete. The linebacker, Telvin Smith, able to get a hand on it there.
Certainly looked like they were getting ready to convert there on third down, but what an effort to get his hand on that one, knock it away, and brings up a fourth down decision.
Fourth down, so on is the punter, Riley Dixon. Back deep, Rashad Green. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set here. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly.
He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. And they'll have the ball set up in the red zone at the 16-yard line. That interception sets them up beautifully already in the red zone.
And you can hear it all the way up here. Oski, everyone turned to block, find the spot, and now they're set up inside the red zone for their offense.
So after the INT, it's Manning. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. There was the free safety to Sean Gibson, who was able to range over and knock it away.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up second down.
And he's going to get it inside the 10 to the 7-yard line. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1. Well, those Giant fans, you know that they love seeing Saquon Barkley wearing their jersey, but it's interesting. He actually grew up a Jets fan.
Yeah, I wonder what his dad...
Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Giants with the football here as we begin quarter number 2. They've got a 3rd down and a yard to start things out. They'll try to run for it with Barkley. And he will have the first down before he's brought down at the 3. And they got 3 yards. That's enough. A conversion, and now it's 1st and goal.
And that's why you spend a first-round draft pick on a running back. Not for just the fancy runs, but these dirty, gritty 3rd and 1s, 3rd and 2s. That's why you draft him.
And Barkley will try to punch it in. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be 2nd and goal.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Zebra, zebra, zebra. Zebra, zebra, zebra.
They'll give it to him up the middle. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Give him right around 4 on the carry. We'll see if they want to keep pounding here on 3rd and goal. 2 straight shots on the ground. Now on 3rd, do you go to the air?
I think the possibility exists, and if you're doing it, you're probably going play action since you ran it twice. But I often think that 2nd down is the time you go play action and throw the ball. I say commit to the run and think about it being 4-down territory.
Delay of game, offense.
That's going to set him back 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
How crucial will those 5 yards be? We'll see as they come up again here, 3rd and goal. Shotgun now for Manning. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked off by Tashawn Gibson. And not much on the return there. He'll take it only up to the 9-yard line. So that is 3 interceptions now in this first half. And you hate to ask the question, but Let's be honest, we're thinking about it. Do you need to go in a different direction next series?
Potentially. We know that he's probably not going to be on the Pro Bowl ballot. That's not really his stature here. But he has been their starting quarterback for this game. So they've got to weigh things about who's behind him. Do they think he can snap it back into gear? Maybe change up the play calling to help him out a little bit.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Throwing his Bortles on 3rd down. He goes underneath for Yeldon. And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here now, time to discuss Odell Beckham Jr. Looking down at the stats here, realizing he has no catches. They've targeted him twice, but no catches. So how do they get him more involved, Charles?
You make sure he touches it on routes that he likes to run. Maybe even run a reverse or some type of a jet sweep so he gets his hands on the ball and get him active.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Jalen Ramsey. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. He's now thrown 4 interceptions, and I hate to mention this, but he's a guy that has twice thrown 5 in his career in a single game.
Hard to believe, isn't it? And the tough part is, playing in this NFL, you don't normally just back off totally from throwing the football, do you? So potential exists for that 5th one to occur.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half, maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter games turn into bigger runs later.
And down inside the 15 he goes. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a 1st down.
I like how they work the tight end on a nice little under route there. And if you're going to give him that much space, he's not even going to catch the football. He's going to run away from you a little bit, and that's exactly what he just did there, picking up extra yardage.
Bortles now on 1st down. That is caught at the 7-yard line. And he'll be brought down this time at the 5-yard line. Give him 9 there on the 1st down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Hey, let's go trick flex, 380. 380.
Bortles going to throw. Buying time to his left. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the 1st.
Offensively, they liked their situation, so they tried to take a shot downfield, but no one was open. So it was tuck it in run time, and he picks up a 1st down.
380. 380.
They'll try to punch it into Fournette, and he is going to lose yardage here. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
The hit comes late. We saw it. There's your flag.
And we know that there's a guideline, right? Ball's gone. You get 1 step. If you're within 1 step of the quarterback, you can hit him as long as it's still done legally. But anything outside of that looks like an extra step was involved.
Throwing now is Bortles. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Down this close to the goal line, 1st down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on 1st down in this situation because 2nd down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
Now Bortles throwing on 2nd down. And a big loss here as he's taken down. B.J. Goodson able to get in and bury him well behind the line for a loss of 17.
When you're this close to the goal line, you got to expect pressure from the defense, so the ball's got to come out fast. Got to get out of his hands quicker.
Following the sack, 3rd and long for Bortles and the Jags. Now Bortles. Left side complete, Safarian Jenkins. And now they're inside the 10 as he's brought down at the 9. They do get 8 out of the pitch and catch. However, it's 4th down.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
That drive took him inside the 10. Good job defensively to hold him to 3.
Yeah, I like how you did that. Give a little tip of the cap to the stop troops there because they didn't give up a touchdown in that situation, right? Made them kick the field goal. Yeah, points went against them, but that feels a whole lot better running off the field.
Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. Hasn't had his best day to this point here in the second quarter, and they're losing. You got to think, though, that also means that maybe the defense doing a good job on him. There's two sides to that coin.
I would agree, so you have to give them credit, but that means you've got to find a way to beat that defense and make sure one of your top playmakers touches the football and has an impact on the game. Change formations, change where he lines up, put him in motion, anything possible to shake him free.
Maybe that greater impact comes here on this drive. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
On second down, they run with Stewart. And he'll fight forward to about the 27-yard line. And after getting tackled, he's still down and looking very slow to get up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. Throwing on third down, low level. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Fielded just inside the 30. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But you also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. They go play action here on first down. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Janoris Jenkins. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Good starting field position for them here as they come up first and 10. They'll start out on the ground, and Saquon Barkley. They'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
3 yards there, takes him to the 45.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
The Giants on 3rd down. They've had their troubles, just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. 2 minutes remain here in the first half. We're back to East Rutherford, but first this timeout. A reminder coming up at the half, we hook up with a new guy, Jonathan Coachman from Orlando. He'll have highlights and analysis, and more importantly this year, scores and stats from around the league here in week 1. So do not press that skip button. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. They'll run for it with Barkley. And he's got the first down yardage as he takes it down to the 49. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
On 1st down, Lauletta. To Shepard, complete over the middle. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the 1st down completion.
Gone!
They'll fake it. Now Lauletta. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Jags grab it. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. Often on fumbles, you look at the guy who coughed it up and say, geez, what did he do? But, hey, let's tip the cap to the defense here.
Not a problem at all, my man. I'm not even going to tip it. I'm going to doff my cap to him. Congratulations. Big-time play. Knocking it free and creating something good for your team.
Here comes the Jaguars offense as they get set to go again. And 2 picks thrown here in this first half alone. We'll see how that affects him.
Can't wait to see where his confidence is, because the great ones, they'll throw 4 or 5 picks, and while it'll hurt their team, it won't hurt their confidence. They'll think something was just wrong with the ball or the wind or something was funny. It's never about them. That's how they stay so into the moment and into the game. If you're running out route, it's likely you're going to end up near the sideline. And what did we just see there?
Toe tap.
You got it. The benefits of practice. Toe tapping, foot dragging, picking it up, and making sure it was a catch.
And he'll be stopped up quickly here at the 38. Call it a gain of a yard, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 5.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority, because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Shotgun now for Bortles. To the sideline. Wow, what a catch. Doesn't get a lot out of it, but he is able to keep the feet in bounds. A gain of 4 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. And Lambeau will put this one through, and the lead extends. It's 15-0. So yet another field goal to end a drive. That has been a very common theme. He's now hit 5 of them in this game.
Yeah, Brandon, as an offense, you hate that you've had to call on your kicker so often, but you have to love the fact that time and time again, he's come through.
A final shot before the break for Lauletta. Looking for Shep into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Barry Church. And he'll take it across midfield and down to the 48-yard line. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend, as we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our... All right, we will save the Week 1 highlights and apparently get right back to the action here in the 3rd. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. On the return, Clay. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. Here comes Kyle Lauletta and company back onto the field. And he's had some time to chew on that interception he threw on his last drive back in the first half.
Well, normally we say you want to get him right back out on the field and play again, right? But as you mentioned, had the halftime, had to stew about it a little.
Trying to get it to Beckham, and it's intercepted.
Kick your season off by starting your first game.
Okay, you ready?